I love how everyone calls you out on it, Sparky. Everyone. How you guys doing? Happy Thursday. Hope it's treating you well. We're just doing a little check-in stream because I wanted to say yo. However, I am on many drugs at the moment, so I don't think I'm capable of much of anything. You sound tired? Yeah. So, one of the drugs they gave me was a sedative. And I was like, oh, okay, they want me to like relax before the surgery, right? I got there and they're like, are you tired? I'm like, like a little bit. And they're like, more. You're taking more. I'm like, okay. And so I passed out for 2 hours during the surgery. And I woke up and they're like, you're not supposed to do that. Go back to sleep. And then I just got up and started walking around and they're like, dude, we have like full grown men need wheelchairs after this. How are you just walking? I'm like, redhead, I guess. It's been a day. Mm, thank you. So far, I've got a lot of drugs in my system, so the pain hasn't totally hit me. The few hours that I was awake for the surgery, not wildly pleasant. However, once the drugs wear off, ooh, it's gonna be a bit. Hopefully, I'll be good to stream tomorrow. Hopefully, but we'll see. Yeah, I just want to check in and say yo and all that jazz. How you guys' day's been doing? An almighty being, yes. That is me. The one who is constantly broken. Guess what though? No. No more chicken bones or whatever. Hello Yoshi. Hello Colonel. Someone's watching over you? That sounds like a threat. Cheers, Rock. Oh, Bean. Maybe we'll get a good one. Maybe we'll get a good one. I'm ready for it. Looking away. Please be blue. Oh. No. Oh, okay, I see. I spam. Does the spam mean no bean or are we just spamming? Like someone is looking out for you? Or I don't know, a voodoo doctor I've said in a previous life. Sparky, I don't know if that's a word I don't know how to pronounce or no bean. Okay, no bean. Good, because that was gonna be liver and onion. Possibly the worst. Like that as well. I wish I knew how. I truly do. Oh, hee ha ha. As you guys' Thursday's been treating you well? My Wednesday treated me pretty well. I got to hang out with my dad and my sister, and we got boba and went to a record store. And I mainly just watched my sister get records because she got a new record player, and then we watched anime. So I would say it was a good day. Got mauled by puppies, as one does. I say for words. Eh, eh. It just messes with me, and I know it. They're in your walls, I know. We have an agreement. They can stay in the walls as long as they stay in the walls. We're chill. That's kind of been my day though. Oh, I've got some stuff hopefully set up for stream tomorrow. And I even brought my dad into it. He coded something for me for it. And assuming I don't mess it up, we might have something vaguely cool. It's gonna be cool to me and possibly anyone else who streams. But anyone else is gonna look super boring. But I'm hyped for it. It's like the one thing I didn't know how to do myself. So, woo! They got me merch today. Yay! How's it fit? You like it? I was just sitting here clapping. I really, like I said, I like the merch from last year, but I like the fit of these better. But that's also just because I really like baggy clothing. So if that's not your thing, then I guess this might not be your thing. Yeah, food and water? Yeah, me and my roommate went out and got food right after the surgery. I had a chicken sandwich and cheese fries. And what more do you want in life? Barely functioning at the desk. Oh, when I'm sitting, I'm fine. It's when I try to move like 2 feet. It's a problem. I don't know how I got out of the building myself, but like ever since we got home, I've just been stumbling everywhere. My roommate's like, "You live downstairs. I don't trust you." It's fine. It's carpeted down here. It won't hurt that bad. Material, this one feels so much better. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm not sure if I can notice the difference in the texture of them so much. Because they're made by the same company. It's just they're different, like, styles. I don't know. I guess I'll check again. How's it got your mooch? Your mooch? Your mooch? I'm glad. It makes me happy to you guys like your stuff. I like this stuff this time. There was one thing I really wanted to make, but, like, the moment I went to make them, they stopped being available. So I don't know, maybe one day. But for the moment, we got hoodies and beanies. And stickers, technically. Sleep on the floor? I got a bed. I don't gotta sleep on the floor. You get my hoodie soon. And okay, so I don't know if this is creepy, but like I know all the names of the people who ordered, and obviously your screen name is very different than where your whatever your actual name is. So I hope so. Are you the? I don't want to say anything. Are you the one that we had slight issues with? Possibly. First three felt thinner. Really, I thought these kind of felt thinner. Hmm. I personally like thin hoodies, so it didn't bother me. But now I feel like I gotta go check my hoodies. Yeah, I want people knowing that. Goose. If I really cared, I could go find it. Oh, secret. Never safe. Except it is because my memory is that of a goldfish, so it's very safe. You don't know my name? No. Not like I wrote it out 3 times today. Which, by the way, without saying what your name is, the spelling of it still upsets me. I always get it wrong. Guy from the address? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad to hear that is on its way to you. Where does one find merch? I have a thing for this. Boop. TweetyBar.com. I figured it was like the easiest thing to remember. And I'm still super hyped that I got TweetyBar.com. Not like anyone else would take it, but you'd be surprised at how many other Tweety bars there are out there. Like they're playing social medias and stuff I just couldn't get it at, so happy. Look, Max Shadow. I mean Ember. One day I'll get it. God. Learn it, memorize it, enjoy it. At the store, there should be like the very first section should say merch. There are more Tweety bars? There are. The most notable one I found was one on Tweety or Twitter. I didn't look too far into it, but it sounded like someone who was like waxing poetical, trying to be like a bard. I don't know. Crazy. I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think that name is like too far a leap of logic, really. I was kind of surprised that not more people had used it. All are crazy, yes. Yeah, I think, what is it, till Monday? The 2-year anniversary stuff is still out there. And then the normal hoodie and hat will be there just like until I decide on what I'm gonna go. The point was just to keep them up for a while, but yeah. Checking DM real quick. Okay. Yes. Or the 2-year hoodie. I saw you just ordered it. I saw it right before stream. I made sure that I got. So when you guys order things, there's like a 2-step approval that I have to go through. I made sure that the steps are good. So it should be in the process of making its way to you. I love the hat, it's nice. I'm glad. I'm not much of a hat person, but I remember a lot of complaints because not everyone wears hoodies. And I'm like, what do people like? Hats? Question mark. Stickers? I don't know. If there's anything that like people are particularly interested in, let me know. I really wanted to make bomber jackets because I think they're really cute, but like I said, they're not available anymore. Maybe those will come back one day. Also contemplated making shoes, just like Vans with the logo on the side. But I decided against it because the website's stupid and made it really hard, and also it was kind of boring, so meh. Here's it up. Cool. Regular t-shirt. I do have plans for t-shirts, but I don't like dropping so much merch at once, right? Like technically speaking, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but this hoodie, the current one, not the 2-year anniversary, but the like normal burb one, I have had in my back pocket since before the 1-year anniversary hoodie. Like I made it before then, and I've just been like, I don't know, when do I put it out? Because like I'm putting out the 1-year anniversary one soon. I don't want to do 2 at once. And so this year came around, and I'm like, yeah, to heck with it. They're both going out. I got my website. I'm celebrating. Yeah, expensive sometimes. Shoes feel cheap. Yeah, possibly. But like, I really love bomber jackets. I would adore a Tweety Bird bomber jacket personally. Sunglasses? I'm not even sure what that would entail. I don't even know if they make sunglasses. I also don't wear sunglasses, so I guess it never crossed my mind. And I arrived tomorrow. They arrived, and I was like, oh, cool. Good, good, good. Tweety skateboard. Hold up, now I'm curious if they make these things. Actually, they might, now that I think about it. Skateboard. And that's things down. Your shade burbs. Those are 3 words that I don't understand how they go together. I feel like a skateboard would require like a good chunk of designing though, otherwise it's gonna be super boring, you know? And I get that like the burb hoodie, like the non 2-year anniversary bird hoodie is like kind of benign, but I figure with how kind of over the top 1-year anniversary ones are, I felt like it made sense to have something that's not super in your face, you know? Something that people aren't gonna ask you and then you have to explain what it is and blah blah blah. It's just like, it passes as normal clothing, you know? The bomber jacket that I got from aviation class. Oh, that's schmancy. I have a bomber jacket. I guess I don't know. Is it considered a bomber jacket? Oh no, I have a Letterman. And I kind of went into it thinking it'd be more like a bomber jacket. Those things are heavy. Like I have no idea when to wear it. It's just so heavy. Like I adore it. I have it hung up on my door as like a look at this beautiful thing. But I've only worn it like once or twice. Just because it's so much, you know? The back of the 1-year. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't remember how much. I think I definitely spent more time on the second one, but I mean, there's 3 different characters in it, so. Like, the first one was. It had its own challenges because I was going for like a vaguely Art Nouveau thing with it, which is outside my comfort zone. But this one is also outside my comfort zone because I limited myself to like 3 colors and no shading and all of the things I typically like about art. I tried to make something like simple, you know? And I don't know, part of me is like, eh, it hurts not going deeper with it, but at the same time, it's what I was going for, so yeah. Also with things like prints on jackets, doing things like gradients and things, which I use a lot of in my art. just don't work out well. In previous experience, tends to go real bad. Hello and goodbye, Pixie. I just took custom my bombers. If I had a bomber, I'm sure I'd do the same. I will say though, my Letterman jacket is one of the most expensive things I've ever bought, and I love it dearly. And the idea of putting anything on it makes me want to cry. Just saying exactly the way it is. Miami, the Corpse Husband hoodie. I have the Corpse Husband hoodie, but I have to look at what that looks like. Corpse Husband. I mean, I guess a little. Do you know much about Art Nouveau? I grew up in a household. My stepmom really loved Art Nouveau, so like all the paintings around the house were like that. I was going for like somewhere in between me and that style, you know? There's already things I would do differently about it though, but I try not to think about that. I still love it for what it is. I also like this one for what it is. I like the little Polaroid idea. Well, maybe I'll show you guys the like time lapse for those at some point, because you can just see how much I struggle with a lot of it. That it. Oh, Corpse Husband is a singer slash streamer. I don't know if he does Twitch, but I know he does YouTube. Maybe he doesn't even do that anymore. I've been pretty behind. Alright, no actual knowledge of it. I will. I mean, just look up Art Nouveau. I was gonna say I'll send you stuff, but honestly, it's way easier to just Google it, you know, get the gist. Also, I wanted to be, because again, I used to have a lot of experience with selling merch, and I would always have so much trouble with gradients and different colors and stuff. So the idea was to have like a black hoodie with one bright popping color in hopes that it would turn out well, you know? I think it did. Liked it. You like super wisdom right now? What is the meaning of life? I am head empty. No thoughts. I like part of me wants to crash in bed and like read a book, but I don't think I could even manage that right now. Strength 1, that's about right. Con 3, about right. Intelligence was, yeah, this is probably accurate. Just lower the dexterity a little bit because my dex is squat right now. I have tripped so many times since getting home. I feel like I missed something. Art. One of my favorite things about you, Rock, is your complete inability to spell things. And I know you're bilingual and you require Slack. It's just always so funny for me to see the way that you try to spell things. Nice to see models more prominent, to be honest. See the details. Yeah, like, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but technically speaking, I really struggled with the 1 year anniversary hoodie. And so I like kind of cheated and like traced my own face for it and just edited a bit. So it felt really lame. This one I was like, I'm just drawing. I did take some shortcuts though. Like after the first face I drew, I was like, I kind of like that one, so I copy pasted it for the others and just edited them the ways I want. So there was still cheating, you know. Digital art, we allowed to do that. I did really struggle with the colors for a while though, how I wanted to do the shading and stuff. Ultimately, I'm happy. The only problem with these things is like, as much as I love my hoodies, I always feel so weird going out in them. Because, like, either I'm advertising myself to strangers, even though they're not gonna know what it is, it still feels weird, or I see my friends, and a couple of them know what it is because they know that I stream, and they're gonna make fun of me for it. So I'm like, where do I wear it? I guess they're just home hoodies. Which honestly, fine by me. Especially the new ones are super comfy. I don't know about y'all, but I got like huge sizes. They're just dresses on me. I guess you guys saw me in one of them, so you know how big I like these things. It's hard. I grammar good. I know spiel. Evidently. Hello, Cole. How you do? Sorry though, we're real low energy today. I'm very not there. The amount of drugs. Like, I have had a similar surgery to this before. One that wasn't quite as serious, but pretty similar. And anytime I've done it before, they're like, here, take some pain medication afterwards, some antibiotics or whatever. They gave me the medication. They're like, before you even come here, you're taking 5 different drugs. I'm like, okay. Well, and then we're gonna drug you while you're there, and then you're gonna take drugs afterwards. They were not messing around, which honestly, I'm cool with. They're not as good as my past doctor. He was lovely. He didn't knock me out for it, which, like, if I had known that was a thing, I would have gladly taken that. But he, like, no pain whatsoever. I never ever felt pain with him, which is amazing because I've had this surgery, like, I don't know, 4 different doctors now. And, like, the first 2 felt like death. Like, some of the most painful experiences, like, 4 hours of feeling everything. And I'm no wuss when it comes to pain, but the very first one I had, I was just sitting there bawling because it was so bad. So to have a doctor where it's like, I'm just sitting here chilling. Great stuff. This lady wasn't too painful, but she's new to me, so she doesn't quite realize how my body works, and so she was getting like a little upset that like I wasn't super easy to deal with. Not like I was doing anything wrong, it's just like my body is weird, you know? So there was a little bit of peeving and like, I don't know, asking me to cooperate more, and I'm like, I'm doing the best I can, ma'am. Overall, they were really nice and everything. Hello, Aspen. How you do? Think you did say you had trouble with the 1 year? You said you traced your actual face. Yeah, I felt kind of weird saying it at the time. Because, like, one day you guys are gonna see my face and you're gonna be like, that looks nothing like you. It's like, yeah. I took my face and then made it more animal. So, yeah, it's not gonna look like me. I will say, the only, like, non-animal thing is technically speaking, I made my eyes smaller for the drawing, which feels like reverse psychology, but it just looked weird to me, so meh. It's not bomber jacket. Looked up the bomber jacket. It's a jacket made by the U.S. Air Force, which is neat. I know nothing about what Air Force jackets look like, but now I'm very curious on Google. They sound schnancy. Yeah, it's similar to a bomber jacket ish. Ish. It definitely looks heavier than like what I would consider a typical bomber jacket. That's the thing. Like I again love my Letterman. Had no clue it was gonna be made out of leather and have like an inner fluff lining and all that. And like if it was snowing out, wonderful. Any other weather ain't gonna do it. I just want like cotton, like the look of a Letterman but thin, like cotton material that I can actually wear out, you know? Or just like a hoodie material. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something one day. A flight jacket, flight jacket. Yeah, well, I mean, that makes sense. Same surgery 4 times. I know how many times I've had it at this point. Um, because the first, or I guess the second doctor, I had it like 2 or 3 times with him. He was absolutely lovely. Like, I cannot express enough. He even like gave me his personal phone number because he was like, if anything happens after the first time I had the surgery, just text me. We'll get you taken care of. And I waited like 2 days because me and pain kind of go hand in hand. I'm like, I can stick through it. but it was getting worse and worse and worse, and it was just to the point where I'm like, "Hey, yo, doc, help!" And so he immediately called in like major painkillers for me, which admittedly didn't do much. It made me feel better for like 5 minutes at a time, but I could only take them every 6 hours. It was still better than nothing. And that was on like a Friday that I ended up messaging him, and shouldn't have been able to be booked for another couple weeks, but he was like, Monday morning, I'm opening the office early. We're getting you in here and taking care of you. He was such a good dude. I miss him. I, I really wish he didn't retire. But hey man, good for him. One day I'll find another doctor that's that good. And again, this chick wasn't that bad. Her assistant was very sweet as well. But like, I think they just need to get to know me a little bit better. But hey, the fact that I was out for it for 2 hours, bonus. I missed the bad parts apparently. Not that the parts I was there for were good, but I missed the worst of it. You poke a button the body and oh, that don't work. No button time. I'm living life, get ready for my first long weekend. You know what do we consider a long weekend? Is this someone who doesn't work like a 9 to 5? Weekends mean nothing to me. So I don't know what normies consider a long weekend. Hi, Bubs. I pet the burb. Yeah. Oh, it's been a day. At least we got the surgery underway. I still can't pay for it. Unfortunately, I had to take a loan, but like I was supposed to have the surgery 2 to 3 months ago, and it by itself is not like the worst, but if you let it go and it was being let go for too long, it is one of those things you could die. I will say, of all the times I've had it, this was the least painful leading up. Because typically, when you have to have this for like a week before it gets really, really bad, you're just dying. And luckily, I've only been in like, miscomfort. So I can't complain about this. We're all good. There still is a part two to the surgery, unfortunately. We need to schedule that one up. That one's gonna be expensive too, but not as expensive as the one today. And that's with one of my more normal doctors, who I don't necessarily like, but I've been seeing them for like 15 years. So we know each other. It shouldn't be too bad. Your eyes aren't really half the size of your face. I'm not talking about on my model, I'm talking about on the 1 year anniversary hoodie. I'll say the one on, oh god, I can't, I'm putting my hands up like I can point. On my right, your left on the hoodie, I didn't change the size too much, but the one on the right, probably because of the angle I took it at, was like a little too large for my liking, so I made it smaller. Also, like, adjusted where things were just to make it look more like slightly anime and a little less like a human, you know? Also, I thought it'd be just kind of weird if I just straight up put my face on it, you know? You never see any other students with one of my what I miss. Are you talking about the bomber jackets? The God, I said the word like 2 minutes ago. Like the jackets that jocks wear. Is there so no? My school didn't have any of those. I didn't go to a sports school. We were all required to play sports, but we were art kids. Like we weren't that into sports. We didn't have football or anything. We didn't have cheerleaders for the most part. So yeah, no, that kind of thing wasn't a thing. Apparently schools have like school rings too. I didn't know about that. Like my mom and my stepdad had school rings. They're kind of cool looking. At the same time, they were like hundreds of dollars. Like cool, but not that cool, you know? I'll go farther north so I can use the jacket more. It gets cold around here, but I've also been indoors for like 3 years. Like I said, I went out a couple of times when it was cold enough to wear it, and that was kind of it. I don't live in a particularly hot area. It is relatively cold around here, so sometimes, I don't know. Global warming's weird, man. Things are changing. It's getting like relatively warm at the moment. That kind of lost me opportunity. Honestly, not so mad about it, because like I said, it's hanging up on my door where it can be front and center, and that makes me happy enough. Do do do. Larry the gentleman, gentleman, the Letterman, the flight jacket. What's it called? Yeah, the flight jacket. In high school, I would have been so jealous. If it was an option, I definitely would have got one. Well, apparently not. If I had seen how thick they were, nah. Keep in mind though, until high school, I went to the kind of schools that had blazers. So like, we weren't getting away with anything like that. Which, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but that is the one curse I left upon that school, which I don't feel bad about at all, because that school sucked. But the principal saw me wear the blazer, because I was the kind of kid who was like, as many layers as you can put on me, the better. And so I always wore my blazer and my tie. And she was like, I like that. I'm making that mandatory. And so now everyone has to wear them, which is just a little bit of retribution. Just a little bit. I'm not used to six. Six what? Gotta go. It's great seeing you. Have a good stream. Alright. Bye bye, Eli. Thanks for popping in. Once again, I'm waving. Rock knows now. Rock saw me like on video and he was like, man, you do talk with your hands. It's a really hard habit to break. I keep wanting to go back to hand jacking, but God, it's given me so much trouble. Ugh, if only. Oh, my chat paused. What are people saying? Oh God, I missed that. Hello? Everything's falling in my room. Dude, this morning, or I guess not this morning, last morning, my roommate came into my room and she was like, did you start a fire downstairs? And I'm like, I certainly hope not. I looked around, it wasn't me. Apparently, she has like a coffee warmer in her office, and Tora had knocked it into her curtain, and her curtain caught fire. So that was almost a whoops. Waving back, nice. Best rings, yeah, I got one of those. Expensive. How expensive was it? Because like I saw them in college, and those were dang expensive. I'm not sure if high school ones are as expensive. Could have it. I don't like maybe IRL, but when y'all can't see me, it's kind of useless. 6 p.m. What about it? It is now 6:54. It's too late. I think it's fun. Again, like the problem is I rely so heavily on my hands to talk. Because like I said, I have language issues, so like it just makes it way easier for me. So if I'm relying on my hands, it makes it even harder for me to vocalize, which is not good when you're streaming. And it's when doing public speaking. Oh yeah, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm actually a very good public speaker. I don't know if it's because of the hands, but apparently it don't hurt, huh? Mine from high school is like 300. Oh, did you buy it? Oh, that makes me cringe. The 300s? Ah. Yeah, no, thank God our school didn't do that. Elements, I honestly still might have bought the. Actually, no. Not my high school. Not even my college. I don't know. This has been like a big source of contempt in my family, or at least for my mom. Because my mom's the kind of person who's like all about school spirit, you know? And I've just been like, I exist here. I learn classes. Woo, can I go home now? I've never really had that school spirit and it upsets her. She really wanted me to get one of the rings, and I'm like, you gonna pay for it? Cause I'm not gonna wear it either. 600 to 1,000? Oh, lame. Wasn't partner with, I see. We got them knockoffs. Good for you. Parents forced you to get one? Okay, did they force you to get one or did they buy it for you? Because those are two separate things. My parents tried to get me to buy it and I said, no. I am a broke college student. Where do you think this money is coming from? For a ring that we all know I'm gonna lose. So, thanks but no thanks. Mom, not mom, mum. Did I miss something? I don't think so. Are you just making fun of the way I say mum? I say both for the record. Like, my family says mum, especially my dad, so that's kind of what I more grew up with. But I also live or like grew up in a town that says mom. So I grew up with both. Like I kind of go back and forth between the two. I'll just see if one either was made. Is this a Lord of the Rings reference? Because if so, I'm so sorry. I've never seen them. I've technically seen the first movie like 3 times, but I keep falling asleep within the first like half hour. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't do movies well, especially with other people. Like, if I have to sit down for that long, it's a no go. If I can pause something, go do something for like half an hour, come back and rinse and repeat, wonderful. All at once, real hard for me. And then they made me pay. I told them I don't want one. They got it for me. They made me pay for it. No, that's still they made you pay for it. I would like I've had my parents do that kind of stuff before, and I say, no, return it. I do not want. That's what they did with like my first few phones. Like I didn't get a phone until I was like 14 or something, which sounds like pretty reasonable if you ask me, regardless of all the children nowadays getting phones. But they tried to push a phone on me for years before that. I just had to be like, no. Why would I do that? I don't go anywhere, parents. I understand if I was out sneaking around doing drugs or something. No, I sit at home and play World of Warcraft. What do I need a phone for? Only me, your father? Eh. My dad's pretty hit or miss. Like, if you're on his good side, you'll love him. If he thinks lowly of you, oh, steer clear. He doesn't. I love my dad. He is possibly the smartest person you know. But the problem is he knows that. And if you are not up to his standards, he thinks very lowly of you. And for the most part, he'll be very polite about it, you know, like the whole businessman smile and everything. But it'll get to a certain point where that mask drops and he will just let you know how bad of a human he thinks you are. Which is slightly terrifying. It's like one of those things where you know people who, you know, are just always mad and blow up and it's like, yeah, it's whatever. It's the calm person when they finally snap that it's so scary. Like my mom always dealt with anger issues. It was fine. It was whatever. My dad was always stoic. But when he wasn't, it was like, oh, you've really messed up. You know? For the record, neither of my parents were ever like violent or anything, so like disclaimer. It's just ooh, they get rough. 14 is reasonable? I think so. Looking at my little sister. No. I can't remember when she got it. She was like 7 or something. I feel like that kind of thing is becoming more and more normal. It's so weird to me. And again, both of my parents are tech snobs. They're like, every year you need a new phone. I'm like, I don't know how long I've had this phone. I will continue to have it another 5, 10 years if I can. Unless this physically breaks, it's fine. I don't want a new phone. I am not particular. Anyway, but my dad, he's the kind of person where, like, literally every new phone that comes out, he has to have one. So he just has a stack of phones, which is honestly where all of my phones have come from. Because, like, I have broken quite a few phones at this point. So whenever that happens, he'll just, like, give me an old one, call it a day. 8 or 10. They went out. Yeah, I didn't go out. I was a real loner kid. I just, I had Persona to play. I had Viva Pinata and World of Warcraft. Why would I leave the house? It sounds way sadder than it is. I was a happy kid. I liked video games. That was it. And no one else I knew played video games. I came from one of those towns. There's a couple of dudes who played COD and, like, I'm good. No, my jam, thanks. At 15? Yeah, that's... If I could've, I would've waited longer. I can't remember how they ended up forcing one on me. I think they guilt tripped me. They're like... They were the kind of parents who were so convinced I was gonna get kidnapped. Cause, like, I think when I was, like, a toddler or a baby, there was a big, like, American scare of kids getting kidnapped left and right. And they were just so certain I was going to be one of them. Mainly because I'm like the stereotypical blonde haired, blue eyed baby. Partially because I was insanely reckless as a child and had no strange danger. So I was like never let outside alone or anything. I was safe. But eventually I think what it was my mom got a new phone and she was like, take it. I'm like, all right, can I access the internet? Like, I knew nothing about phones. Even then, I hardly used it for years. Bad human by those standards? No. Like I said, if I could have gotten away with it, I would have. I would have waited until like college, honestly speaking. Also, like back then, if people wanted to communicate, we didn't text each other. We like either, depending on your friend group, if it was like people in college, you talk to them through Facebook. And if it was, you know, you nerds, you talk to them through video games. There's no real need for phones. Take your iPad, super old controller. Oh, I still need to set up my new controller, speaking of. I feel bad, like, this controller still technically works. I'm the kind of person that if I can just, like, drag something through the ground until it literally can't break, I see no reason in replacing it, you know? So eventually that controller will come in handy. But after this one breaks, like my mom, she got me a wallet, like a fancy wallet too, which I don't like. I'm not into brand names or whatever, but she is. And she was like, it's so pretty, you should use it. I'm like, but I have a wallet. She's like, this one's nicer. I'm like, this one hasn't fallen apart yet. Why would I change? To be fair, it is pretty falling apart at this point, so maybe I should change. But, oh, I know, I did just change. I changed to the one that Rock got me. And then once that one breaks down, maybe I'll go to the one that mom got me. The classic parental guilt trip. It's true. It's very true. But Stranger Danger and age 7 wanted to take me home. I was like, nah, I'm good. I was so the opposite. I was such a bad child. I have so many memories from when I was a little kid where, like, A, I would just run away. Like, that, I was a chaos child. And like I'm still a little bit I've calmed down a bit since I was a kid because, you know, I don't want to die. But when I was a child, obviously I had no sense of mortality. So if I could cause problems, I would. So I was constantly just like running off like at the mall or whatever. And I would just go up to strangers and be like, "Hi, my name is." I would give them my full name, my full number, and my home address. My parents had to come and be like, "Tweety, no, please, please stop." was just like a constant thing I would do. I was just so proud. I was always really bad at remembering those things. I used to get in trouble at school for never being able to remember my phone number or my address. And so when I finally got it down, I wanted to show off my skills, you know? No one was impressed. From Facebook to video game. I mean, back then, that's kind of all we. I mean, we had Skype. So, like, once you got close enough to video game people, then you would move over to Skype as well as the video games. Even Skype didn't last that long because I don't know if Skype is still about, but at the time it was really jank. So we used something called Tiny Chat, which I don't know if you guys know, but it was like Facebook's version of Skype. And looking back, it was really embarrassing because every time you entered a call, it would make a Facebook post. But honestly, I didn't care about anyone who's on my Facebook. It was whatever. Still use Facebook for my family. Well, even when I have Facebook, I was strict. I'm like, no family. You're not allowed to know what's going on with my life. Like, I hardly even had like classmates. Like, I would have a few classmates. It was mostly just for like the friends I met online through video games. It was a very small part of my life. Like when I first got into D&D, we would sometimes use it for, planning sessions and stuff. But after that broke down, I'm like, you know, I'm good. Bye Facebook. You have not done much for me. See you later. Like Discord also kind of became a thing, so that kind of just picked up the slack. By father standards, am I a bad person? Why would you be a bad person by my father's standards? What are my father's standards? Chaos child, because my parents told me to stop doing something, I'd stare at them as I kept doing it. You were one of those try to stop me kids. Yeah, no. I seriously I loved running. I loved making things as hard for people as I could, and I don't know why. That probably says something about me, but I don't want to know what. It truly was. I remember there was one oh sorry, dropped a coin. Um there was one field trip when I was like 5 or 6. We all went to a corn maze and we were supposed to stick together. And this was like perfect opportunity. So I just bolted and tried to get as far away from people as possible. Which obviously got me lost. However, I ran into a different class and their whole thing was that they were trying to sneak up on us and scare us. I completely ruined their trap. I became so unpopular after that. Whoops. I offer the Tweedo a plate of scrambled eggs, bacon, and toast. I appreciate the thought, but unfortunately, I don't like any of those things. Is that the magical? Yeah, yeah. Wait, I found 2 of them? What? There's a second one? Well, in that case, there's only one because the other one's disappeared now. Magical. Yeah, no, we were on call, and I just like looked down at my hand, and I found a 50 yen coin, and I have no clue why. Like, I I've never been to Japan. I don't know where it came from. I just spawn yen now, apparently. Whitey, hello. Hi, Ari, how you doing? How you see alive? Yeah, me too. This wasn't one of those. Well, the surgery itself wasn't life-threatening. I'd like to say painful, but not life-threatening. If I didn't have the surgery, it would be life-threatening. But I did. We still have part 2 to go, but we're through the thick of it. You saw me make it? Oh yeah, very medicated. Dude, I don't remember which. They gave me 2 separate pain medications. I took the lesser of the 2, which I thought would be absolutely fine, but almost immediately I started feeling better. And I'm like, this gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Not a good enough day to get through the surgery. But the fact that anything worked on me was a blessing. On the con for my OC a different outfit. I do plan to get to that. Do you have like a time limit that you want that by? Because I can put it on rush above other projects. It's very limit, okay? Yeah, it could have been worse. It went like 2 hours longer than it was supposed to, but you know, could have been worse. I've had them be way more painful. God, I think the most painful surgery I've ever had was this surgery, but by someone who wasn't nearly as competent. And who was, yeah, no. They messed me up pretty bad. But it was just so bad. So, yeah, it could have been way worse. I had recommendations from my normal doctor for this person, so I figured they'd be pretty okay. Any more details or anything? If you have other details you want to add, sure. I want water, but all I have is Fireball, and I'm pretty sure that would kill me with all of the drugs I'm on. Well, you know, I got a little bit of Fireball, very good. It split my ears when I was a kid. My doctors forgot to put me under. You need different doctors. Well, presumably you have different doctors right now. I'm sure. I feel like I've told a bunch of doctor horror stories at this point. You would think that a medical professional would know what they're doing. You'd be surprised how often they don't. At least is my experience. When you dare drink alcohol, it was a joke. Like the thing is, I don't understand how the drugs they gave me work. I feel like halfway between loopy and halfway drunk. It is a very peculiar feeling. So alcohol's not necessary right now. Get more. I've got like a little bit. I wasn't planning on this being like a particularly long stream or anything, and we've already been talking for an hour. What have we been talking for an hour about? I thought I was gonna be here for like 10 minutes just to say, yo, how you guys doing? You need some serious sleep? I know. The only problem is that like my sleep schedule is actually pretty okay right now. I'm afraid if I take a nap, I'm just gonna mess it up again, you know? So I think I'm gonna like get a bunch of work done and try to keep my mind off of things. I hate decent alcohol to be out of it right now. What do you mean? I am out of it right now. I feel like I'm talking at like 50 to 75% speed, which can't be a good thing. I guess it's not the worst. One of the problems I've been noticing, like always, but especially recently, is that like trying to subtitle my videos, I just sometimes talk way too fast to be able to read the subtitles. It's like, dude, you can slow down a little bit. I know some people say that I don't talk that fast, and today that is certainly the case. But like trying to edit my videos, I would tend to disagree. Life. Isn't your natural state a little bit loopy? That's mainly because I have been, for months now, working on a sleep schedule that doesn't work for me. And so anytime I stream, I'm like right in the middle of being sleepy. But hypothetically, with the way things are going now, I should be okay to stream and be like my normal self, which is gonna be weird, but kind of looking forward to not dying during stream. Speaking of that, though, I kind of wanted your guys' opinions. I was messing around with the idea of like not every stream, but some streams doing like 2 games a stream instead of one. Because a lot of my problem is that by the end of stream, like my ADHD is just kicking my butt. So I figure like if maybe I split it into more than one game, my brain will be able to keep up a little better. So I was wondering how you guys would feel about that. Fishing for name tags on my god. Wow, we haven't done that in a while. Wait, 50% talk so fast and just on a tangent and ranting. It's true. Sometimes I'm really slow. Like, there are two different reasons I'm really slow. Is either like my brain just physically is having hard times figuring out where to go because a lot of times I just like really zone out of playing video games. And the other is the whole thing where I have issues coming up with words, so I just like pause every word trying to figure out how to express what I'm saying. But when I've got it on lock, my brain just goes. it's it's a bad combination. Like again, not something you guys have to deal with, but specifically for editing, it's like half of my videos are super choppy because there's so many breaks where I'm just trying to figure out what I'm saying, and the other is like, dude, slow down. The captions can't handle it. I have a dichotomy of Tweety. Do whatever you want. I know that's the easy answer. But like again, I don't super watch streamers. I don't know if that's normal. If like people without ADHD like watching one thing for that long, or if people enjoy doing separate things. So I'm just curious what people like, you know? Like 10 games per stream. Oh god. My brain would explode, my computer would explode. Have to download some games. Speak a lot faster. On call, you're more chill. Well, when we're on call, the thing is that, like, multiple people are talking. And by nature, I'm just a pretty quiet person, unless I get heated, in which case you can't get me to shut up. But for the most part, I'm much more of a listener than a talker. So that's not great for streaming. But that's just kind of how I am, IRL. Guys, people mostly watch streams more so for the person creating the content. That's very sweet. However, I'm also me, and I realize that can't be the case. Like, I just don't want to annoy people, you know? I, I, I want to make things as enjoyable as I physically can. Because I know, like, just by nature, I'm a pretty, you know, like, I don't want to say chill, because that doesn't necessarily have a bad connotation. I'm just kind of muted, you know, which I think is, again, partially because I've just been so tired. I do truly have two settings where it's either I'm dead inside or dear God, you cannot get Tweety to shut up. And finding the balance is a little bit of a struggle for me. It always has been. So I don't know. I don't like annoying people. I've always been called annoying, and I know I shouldn't care so much about it, but it's just kind of become engraved in me to like, I don't know, want to make people's experiences as good as possible, which I feel like is also just a normal stream thing to do, you know? You guys are here listening to me ramble and stuff. Like, you guys are being kind. I should at least try and do my part. Really sweet. Wow, that's very sweet. I think I talked too long. I missed things. It's amazing. Keep up with you gotta keep up with every idea and question and comment. Are you saying that I don't do that, or that's just an inherent struggle with streaming? Like, I'm particularly bad at it, or is that just like a thing? Which means isn't too out there. I've seen a lot of people do that before. Maybe we'll try it. Like, I certainly don't want to do it every time, because there's certain days where I'm just like on a roll. I want to keep playing this game kind of thing. But I also find a lot of times where, like, again, ADHD is just kicking my butt. It's like, we've been doing this for so long. We need to do anything but this. And I don't like getting in that mood around people. I feel like I get obnoxious, you know? Oh, you're not mean? Did I call myself mean? I don't think I'm mean per se. I think I'm obnoxious. I think those are two separate things. Am I mean? Maybe I can be mean. I feel like if I'm mean to you, you must have like really overstepped some boundaries. I'm a pretty patient person. I try to keep things pretty tame, but I guess I don't know. Everyone's got different boundaries, and like I'm pretty used to my first set of friends' boundaries, but as I've, gotten older and met new people, I know that like everyone's boundaries are way different, and like the kind of jokes I make don't fly with certain people. Like I knew it was an ex-boyfriend actually where we would joke around and he would do something that was silly and you'd be like, "Oh my god, that was so stupid," right? Because that was what was normal with my friend group, but I quickly learned that like he takes that very seriously. And so ever since then I've been really scared to use the words like stupid or idiot or whatever, like just out of fear of upsetting someone. So I'm still learning where boundaries are, I guess. Which is very hard when everyone has different ones. Like, all y'all are pretty teasy with each other, so it makes me fairly comfortable to tease back, but it's still like super against my nature to do that at this point that I'm trying to lean back into it a little. But watching y'all do it's like, they won't get too mad if I do it, will they? you know? Even if you're streaming League of Legends, I was still watching. So, well, you're a sweetie pie, Ari. That's just who you are. I see we don't like League of Legends though. I promise I'll only play League of Legends if it's with like Hypo. Just because, he's a friend. I try to make exceptions for friends. It's something he cares a lot about, so if you're playing a game that even if you don't like per se, but the other person is really passionate about it, then itself is a fun time. At least for me. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like watching League. And considering I'm not a League streamer, I imagine it's not really in a bunch of your guys' top games either. Joining, she does League again and permits it. Why would I not permit it? If you're having fun, keep going. If not, then switch games. I think chatting days and then our catch ups is nice. Yeah, I think honestly the main reason I'm able to do a just chatting right now is because of the drugs, if we're being completely honest. But I'm not much of a just chatting person. Like, if I'm bouncing off of someone, like, especially if I'm in VC with like Hypo or Cran or whoever, it's really easy for me to talk. But, like, if there's lulls, I go into, oh god, anything that I could say is suddenly gone in my brain. I've lived an interesting life, don't know any of it anymore. What I say? But you guys are pretty talkative. I think there's just like an anxiety of like, what if there isn't though? You know? Which is stupid. Absolutely not annoying. Oh, that's sweet. You're very sweet, Mulbus. That's the thing. That's the one thing I will say is the double-edged sword is that I happen to find a community that is just the gosh dang sweetest. But I feel like y'all will never tell me when I do things wrong, right? Like, I need to know when I'm upsetting people. I need to know when I'm doing good or when I'm doing bad. I'm never gonna learn. It's very sweet. But come on, be harsh with me. Anything you think I think we annoy you a bit? Why would you think that? I feel like, I don't know. It's really hard to annoy me. Like, genuinely annoy me. Like, oftentimes I'll like tease back and like, rib each other or whatever. I hardly ever get genuinely annoyed. If I'm ever genuinely annoyed, you will know. Because it's only happened like a couple times on stream where I was genuinely like, this sucks. I don't like these people right now. I don't want to be here. Like, it's so rare for that to happen. And when it does, I kind of just go silent. So if I go silent for like a good 5 minutes, that is a good indication that Tweety's not doing good. Anything other than that, though, I guarantee you're fine. I'm so sorry I'm behind on chat. I'm trying to go through things, but I'm again in a talkative mood, so I keep going on tangents. This is chill. Listen around call. I'm saying that's what you gotta do on stream versus. Look, I think I need a re-explanation, Rock. I'm sorry. I love ramblings. Cool, because that's all my brain is capable. Oh, apparently not even that capable of right now. Mean to me, I cried. Have I ever been mean to you, Ari? Like in a genuine, like, I don't think I've ever been genuinely mean, but have I ever like crossed the line with a joke? Because if so, I'm very sorry. When Tweety, since you corrected yourself when you started the stream and said hi to me. No, I know I have permission, but I'm trying to get better about it. And if it's just a personal thing I'm trying to get better at. Everything's just stuff as well. Call me a stupid idiot. I would laugh. Okay. I know, yeah. Everyone's boundaries are very different. It's just I think with that in particular, I had such a bad experience with him because he got like so genuinely angry. And because it was something so deeply ingrained in the way I talked, it was hard to get past it. Like I did it a couple more times before I could catch myself. And so it's just like a continuous like getting berated for that kind of thing. So there's just kind of like a automatic fear of like, oh god, I did it again, you know? So I try not to tease too much just in general. They'll join us and start calling silly goose and joke around with us. I guess maybe. At first, if someone's upset. I will say, Rock is my mod. The others are my mods. First off, if something happens, like if I'm not on stream, they don't know either. I tell you guys as much as I tell my mods. So don't feel like you have to go to my mods to make sure things are okay with me. Please message me. I will message you back as soon as I can. But 99% of the time my mods don't have information that you guys don't. So don't worry about that. And again, just in general, if you have problems, like don't feel afraid to talk to me about them. I rarely, again, ever get like mad or annoyed or whatever. I'm a relatively chill person, all in all. So if I can help with something, please feel free to talk to me. 100%. I'm sure my mods don't care either, but I think it's a personal preference of mine that people come to me. Because, I mean, even with my mods, they end up having to come to me afterwards anyway, so. I don't know, we're cutting out the middlemen. Unless, like, I'm clearly not around and, like, I don't know, someone needs to be banned immediately or something. Yeah, maybe, like, DM one of the mods, but for the most part, I'm here. I can solve problems. Don't worry about it. You're not bothering me. Hello, Corey. I'm doing as good as one can right after surgery. How about yourself? Silent treatment tweeters are scary. I know. I'm so sorry. Like, the problem is when I get like genuinely upset with someone, I know I'm gonna say something mean. And like not in the meaning of like I'm gonna call someone names or whatever. It's just I'm gonna be very honest. Because the way I handle things is I will like no bars hold, I'll be like, listen, you have done this thing. This is why I do not like it. This is how I would like it changed. End of statement. And a lot of people can't handle that kind of bluntness. a lot of people take it really personally when I'm just trying to like put facts out there and like open a dialogue of what can be done. But I know that I'm bad at that. I know that I come across as very like cold and stoic, which is not my intention. I'm just trying to solve things, but I know that that's not good. I know a lot of people don't appreciate it. Some people do. Some people also work on that wavelength. But there's a lot of people who kind of read into those things very emotionally. And that's never my intent is to upset someone. I genuinely just want to like resolve things. So if I'm afraid that I'm gonna say something, especially if it's someone I don't know crazy well how they'll respond, my response is just gonna be like, hold it in, say nothing, things will pass. Unless something gets genuinely serious, in which case I'll confront people. But yeah, if we're getting silent mode, that's typically why. You've done anything bad. That's the thing, Heart. You're a sweetheart. Of course you would say that. You would say that. I don't think you've been mean to me. Well, I text. I never know if like it wasn't serious or were you ribbing me, you know? I just wanted to check. And it kind of funny. Is new to Minecraft in the FAQ section. I still feel like I am, man. Like, just because technically I've been playing for a while, I'm still a noob. I am no pro. But is that I have enough time and with you guys? I know that not gonna lie, that was not the entire reason, but like it certainly helped the decision to move things forward. It's just because it makes me sad that you always have to leave immediately. Like that too honest mean. Again, I don't ever think I'm mean. Like, maybe I'm misconstruing what mean is. I'm just very honest. I lay down, I'm like, alright, you said this to this person. I think this is why you said it. I think this is why that was inappropriate. I would like you to do this to fix it. Otherwise, we will have to have another conversation. That is how I handle things. And I don't think most people are used to that, is the problem. So they take it as a personal attack when I don't mean it as a personal attack. Which again, my fault for not being able to communicate properly. I'm trying. I try really hard to make it so it doesn't seem like an attack, but only so much I can do, I guess. Using honest with sweetness. Okay. No, you're just an honest person, Ari. Let's be honest. Maybe that just said that weirdly. You're very nice having your life. Thank you. Again, some people enjoy it. Like, that's why me and Pink get along so well. It's because he grew up without people being super honest with him. And so when I came into his life and I was like, all right, this is what's happening. This is why it's happening. This is my suggestion to move on with it, right? And he was like, oh, I didn't know you could talk about things that way. And so we kind of bonded over the way that our brains work. So yeah, some people are cool with it. I think a good example of this, which is still probably the harshest example I've ever had, was the story of the guy who invited himself into our dorm room and was just like being a butt face and making fun of all the things that we were doing, even though we were having fun. And I was like, listen, I don't know you. None of us know you. We know each other. We're friends. We're having fun. You're not having fun with us. You don't have to be here. Like that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, you know? Like I didn't yell at him. I think I've yelled at a person once in my entire life. Like genuinely. I never yell. I never get too emotional. I'm just trying to be like, hey, these are what I see as the facts. Can we have a conversation about it? you know? One thing that I think you're doing a bit bad, overthinking a little too much. Why am I overthinking? Why am I overthinking? Uh, off easy if that's the worst you got. I guess. I don't know. It was still, I don't know. I think that one, because it was the first time I ever confronted someone, I probably said it with slightly more animosity than was necessary because, again, if it was just me who was bothering, I can handle people being mean to me all day long. But he was actively upsetting my friends, so I was like, listen, guy, this ain't cool. Here are your options. Do something, you know? It probably came out slightly meaner than anticipated. Sometimes it's necessary. Meaning, I agree. I am a big believer in that most things you can solve by speaking rationally. Some people, unfortunately, are very irrational, as you will learn. And in those cases, there's not much you can say that's going to change that. No, two. I remember yelling at someone twice. There was, I had a couple friends over, and me and the guy were trying to convince him of something for like months at this point. And we were like crying, we were arguing, and like literally he was just the kind of person who refused to listen to logic. And so I was like, you know what? I like pushed him onto the ground, not hard. I just like sat him down, sat on his chest, grabbed his face, and I was like, you are going to listen to me, dang it. That was one of the most aggressive times I got. Who's being mean to Tweety? I don't think anyone's being mean to Tweety right now. I think Tweety's got it pretty easy at the moment, minus the doctors occasionally. Me, the doctors don't always have my best interests in mind, but there's neither here nor there. And for the record, that guy wasn't being mean. It was just like, he had stuff going on, and we were trying to help, and very hard to. I think that is a big weakness of mine, is that, like, I was raised by two very different people. Mother, very emotional, not very rational. Father, both very rational and very emotional. I got the short stick, where I'm not wildly emotional, I'm solely logical, and because of that, I don't always know how to help people who don't think the way I do. Like, to me, it's like there's obvious right and wrong answers, but that doesn't always, you know, take into account how people feel, which is obviously a huge determiner of what most people base things off of. And in those cases, I'm like, I've done what I can. I've told you what's right and what's wrong. The rest out of my hand. I don't know. I'm sorry. You know? Hello, stranger. And alien aliens here. I've missed so many things now. Rational or irrational? I'm not sure yet. I'm still learning a lot about you, Ember. I would tend to lean towards emotional, but I don't think you're incapable of being rational. I think there's just a balancing act that needs to go on. I trust you with my back for that. God dang. I like I think there are a lot of different friends that are really good to have. Like me and one of my best friends in college were the exact opposites, right? Like I was the person who would think about a situation, I would write down a list of everything that's happened, all the reasons for it, what we can do about it, and then be able to present it, that kind of thing. I was that person. And then my roommate, if someone was just being bad and would not listen to reason, that's when you brought her in. Because she don't care about reason. She goes into mama mode. She will protect and you will fear her. And that's a good friend to have around too, because I am one of the least threatening humans. If you can't talk to me, you are not gonna take me seriously in any manner. So having my guard dog privileges, good stuff. But the expenses were mean too. What do you mean? Have you ever tried the Yahtzee rule for rolling up character stats? It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know how to play Yahtzee. I've never played Yahtzee. I never played many card games or like board games growing up. I played Jumanji and Candyland, and that was it. So, other than that, I don't really know how card games work. Yeah, though, if you're unfamiliar with it, for my group, normally you roll 46, reroll ones for your stats, and drop the lowest. But sometimes the DMs permit us to use a Yahtzee, where if we get 4 of a kind, we can keep the total of all 4 dice. Oh, I mean, like, the first 3/4 of that is what we use, but I had not heard of the last year. I mean, I don't think I'd be opposed. However, I'm also the kind of DM that, like, I like a good spread, you know? Like, I don't like characters who are just buff all the way throughout. I want someone who's, like, really good at something, but really bad at something else, you know? I don't want someone to just be OP, because I think it just brings for a better role playing for someone to be, you know, a little all over the place. Hope you're feeling well. I'm okay. I just took medication right before stream. So for the next couple hours, I will be incredibly loopy, but not feeling pain yet. Again, I was given 2 different pain medications. One of them's like a fairly normal pain medication. The other one's like the heavy stuff, and knowing me, we're gonna be dipping in relatively soon. So that will hopefully do it. The problem with opioids is that some of them work for me and others just make me feel like death. And I don't think I've had this one before. So, coin flip, I guess. Vicodin? No go. Vicodin is the worst in my opinion. I think this might or might not be the last one I had. And if so, it treated me well, so I think we're okay. And if not, again, I've got the other drug medication. I've had the surgery before. This was definitely the worst version of this surgery I've had. But again, it's the kind of pain that I'm used to, and it typically only lasts for like a week max. So it could always be worse. Way past my bedtime. Glad to see you. Wish you a speedy recovery. Thank you, Ari. Thank you for popping in. I'm glad that we get to see more of you. Part of me wishes that I could like start even sooner. Unfortunately, that would mess with a lot of IRL stuff. Because I don't remember. For some reason, I feel like way back when Ari could use to stay longer. But I might have been imagining that. Ari's like home situation might have changed or whatever, or my memory sucks. Which honestly, it's probably the latter. My DMs are very much what you refer to as a war DM, meaning just like they prefer battle versus roleplay. It's like there's nothing wrong about that per se. I just like it's not what me or most of my groups are into. I've had a few players who care more about combat than anything, but the majority of my players much prefer all the role play and like, you know, figuring things out without necessarily going around murdering everything, you know? Like, battle's okay. It's just a little more stale than most things to me. But I will say I have one player who just loves min-maxing. He will find loopholes out the wazoo that will make you hate your life as a DM. The amount of times I've had to be like, you're not technically wrong, but as your friend, I plead with you, don't. You know? He's one of those guys. You got a 24. They killed more or less everything since they threw. No, okay. A, I had a ranger like that. It was his first time playing. He insisted on playing a ranger. We all suggested he didn't, cause ranger, but that's what he wanted to do. He got crazy decks. And then, I didn't learn until a little bit later, but someone at the table who sat next to him came up to me and he was like, yeah, no, this dude has been fudging his rolls since the beginning. And I'm like, I knew it. No wonder. He's like never missed. So I chewed him out a little bit, which I was allowed to do. I was dating him at the time. What kind of a partner would I be if I don't give him poop for cheating? Not gonna lie though, that actually caused a pretty big fight. So like, I might not do it again. But luckily, we're not dating no more, so don't gotta deal with that no more. You've had this surgery before? I've had lighter versions of this surgery, which is why going in, we weren't expecting it to be as expensive as it was. Because I would say this, like a mass, was like 6 times more expensive than it's been before. And that's only the first part of the surgery. The next part of the surgery is gonna be like another 1,500. So like, woof. That's something I'm gonna have to deal with. But try not to think about it at the moment. Harder for me to go. Artist underage than harder for me to go? What do you mean? He has a job now. Right. He didn't have a job back then? For some reason I thought he did. I prefer the roleplay me too. Once you get like a group that you jive with roleplay wise, D&D becomes so much better. Luckily, most of the people I play with are pretty chill, especially since I'm a very particular kind of a DM, you know? Like, I'm very yes and rule of cool, and I'm not like not a stickler for rules sometimes, but I'm also the kind of person who's like, if I think this is going to be more enjoyable and it's not absolutely insane, this is a game we're talking about. Why am I going to make it less fun for my players, you know? We as people are growing up. I know our babies are growing up so fast. Mine's with my current DM is I can't get out of combat without one side dying or retreating. Counters, even when humans will keep fighting the grave, even if whatever. I've said this before and I've said it a million times. I don't know if your DM has any place DMing. And I don't know if that's just rude or if it's the drug speaking or whatever, but the more I hear about him, like he has no gift. Actually, I don't know. Are your other players fine with this? Because there are people who like that. I just personally hate that kind of thing. So, used to AD&D, which is very much so the DM versus the players. The players are all fine with it. You might just need to find another group, man. Like, I you live in the middle of nowhere, so you might not be able to find like a board game cafe or anything or a comic shop. Comic shops are more common. A lot of them do D&D stuff, so you might be able to find something there. Or like if you happen to have other friends that you can convince to play, or there's a bunch of stuff online you can do. Like I've had players that I didn't jive with and I just had to move on, and it gets so much better. Like the very first time I DM'd, I I kind of homebrewed it because none of my players had ever played before, so I went through the rulebook for 3.5, which was what I had at the time, and I I completely wrote everything. I like spark notes the entire thing, made things less complicated so that people didn't have to learn a lot and everything. Because I was just running them through one shot to get like a gist of D&D right. And two of the players loved it. Two of the players were so down. But the other player hated it. She hated the role play. She hated the class she chose, which I told her she would, but whatever. Like she just had a really bad time and never wanted to play D&D again, which I don't necessarily think was my fault. I based off of everything, that's easy for me to say, but I think it might just not have been for her, you know? And that is okay. We didn't play with her anymore. She didn't want to play. We found other people we could play with and had fun, and you know, things move on. But yeah, no, a bad group will definitely kill D&D for you. But there are plenty of resources online, if nothing else. I have a friend who DMs online. We stream before 6 p.m. EST. It may be harder for me to come. Earliest for me to be here. I have to quit going other places. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that to you or anything. Not that, like, I ever want you to feel like you have to be here, especially the whole time or anything. At the moment, I don't want to go earlier because I'm still getting used to my sleep schedule and all that. And I don't like doing it so early in the day. I don't know. Streaming feels like a nighttime thing for me, you know? So I don't necessarily want to go earlier. I just wish that, some people were able to stick around if they wanted to. Who knows though? Maybe Ari just hates us and doesn't want to show up and his job is a lie. No, I know. But still, like, I try really hard to stress with my DMs about how everything's optional, nothing's expected, and never ever want to put pressure on people. Be like, maybe, nobody's Hornet. Long time no see. How you doing? You play D&D, Hornet? I don't know if I consider myself an amazing D&D or a DM. Like, I certainly love it, and I've definitely been typecast as the eternal DM. But I don't know. My main point is I just want to make sure everyone's having fun. So, if that's your jam, that's your jam. However, I have had players who are like major rules lawyers, and we kind of clash a little bit. So you just need to find people that work with you. Me with a one shot sometime? Maybe. Kind of hard, especially right now since I have like so little time to do like anything. But I don't know, possibly. Clip that, clip what? Oh, very low on water. Time is approaching. Just woke up and saw the title. I checked that everything was alright. Yeah, things are okay. I just got back from surgery, so I'm a little loopy and not really up to do much in the way of games or anything, but just want to check in and say yo to people, and I tend to ramble apparently. How have you been doing? I've been super busy lately, but I've got it in my notepad to check in with Hornet's stream more often. So hopefully I'll get a chance again soon. And rest for almost 2 hours? Oh, it's 1 minute and 40, or 1 hour and 40 minutes. Don't exaggerate. Oh, that is way longer than I thought it was gonna be. There is urge ring though, for if when it happens. Who knows? Who knows? I've been invited to a bunch of DMs and or D&D games. Unfortunately, I've had to turn each of them down. I feel like such a jerk. minute, 20-minute more. Mm. You know, honestly, I thought I was gonna come in for like half an hour tops, but I got them drugs in my system, which make me very chatty, apparently. Honestly, couldn't tell you 90% of what we've talked about. Hopefully, I haven't been inappropriate. Explains the voice. Oh no, what's wrong with my voice? Oh, I mean, it is pretty scratchy right now, but every surgery went well. Yeah, I think it went well. We still have part 2 to get through, but that should be the easy part. But hopefully, all in all, it will have gone alright. Be like 10 minutes? Yeah, like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. I thought it was gonna be pretty quick. Nothing wrong, don't worry. I feel like you're being, you're just being sweet about that. How have you been doing though? Since again, I haven't been around like anywhere recently. There's just been so much going on. Uncle Mortis. Well, hello there. How are you doing? Also, sorry we don't have Spoofy at the moment. Honestly speaking, I got rid of Spoofy because it's expensive and we hardly use it, and now I'm kind of regretting getting rid of it. We're just sitting here in silence. Maybe I could I could turn on like one song on loop that I have set up, but that get really annoying really quickly. How much is Spoofy? It's like a little over $10 a month, I think. Like, we haven't been using it much recently. Vocal fry? Oh no. Vocal fry is not supposed to be a good thing, is it? Well, super busy? That's good to hear. Or not, I don't know. I'm the kind of person who really likes to be busy. But I understand some people aren't. I like just hearing your voice. That's good. Well, I should get off at least some point soon now that I'm recognizing the, the fact that my voice is all blech and I'm out of water. But move on to soju. But once again, with the amount of drugs in my system, probably a bad idea. Playing the craft. I assume Minecraft. Just server. Other than that, I am good. Yeah, I can't speak too much on it because I'm a little bit out of the loop. But the Minecraft server with Nia is supposedly being fixed. We're moving it over to a different hosting system because the one that we use was getting like annoying. I think that they're working on that, but I don't think it's up and running yet. But hopefully soon. How about you? I'm doing alright, thank you. Hope you have a quick recovery. Sorry, not too much, so tired because I just woke up. I swear, can I ask what time zone you're in, stranger? Because I didn't think you were that like far away from me. Because I swear, you just take the most naps of anyone I know. And nothing against that. I'm just super jealous. Voice doesn't change, just speaking slower. You sure? Do I normally have a vocal fry then? Do I just not know what a vocal fry is? I swear, I'm not actually gonna drink, I'm just joking. It just happens to be on the desk. It's very tempting. Example of enemy that my group encountered in session 1. Knowing your group, kinda not. Wrong boy. EST? Oh yeah, it's only like an hour away, right? Like a lot. Good for you, man. As long as it doesn't mess with you. I made the mistake of napping and now my whole sleep schedule's messed up, so I'm trying really hard to cut out naps. Waste really well. Alright, I guess I guess I just have the fries, huh? You didn't try to not let us get anything useful out of enemies? Like just no loot? Lame. Mess with me. But worth. How's your like nightly sleep schedule with your naps? Does it mess with your night? Otherwise, more just relaxed and slow speaking. Yeah, I'm super out of it. They gave me twice the amount of sedatives they give typical people apparently, so a little out. It's yeah, a little suck up. Also, never. I used to be so bad. Trying really hard not to. It's so hard. When your body gets used to it, it's really hard to break that habit. What if you're gonna keep talking? Oh, but it's all the way over there. I don't wanna. Alright. I'll drink a bunch of water after stream. I have insomnia, so enough don't help me. That's my life. I wake up at 6 most days for school. Like one nap all school year because I was sick. I feel like if I was sick, I'd be taking more naps. For 20 minutes. Okay, what level were you? This was your first session. Were you level 1? Where they retreating? We took one of the retreating bandits as a prisoner. Where I die, then be spared and let go for 25 GP. Lead us to where his group can't set up. 3. Still. Still, 3 is pretty squishy. 3, 6 players, and 6 caravan goods. Oh, okay, that many players isn't that bad. I'm used to groups of like 2 to 4. And a lot of my IRL friends don't play D&D, so it's pretty hard to get those kind of games set up. My Christian used to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. What for? Work, I assume, but I used to wake up at like 4 a.m. every morning for work because I worked at a cafe and they do that. Was also a college student, so was typically still drinking by 4 a.m. So I was a great employee, can you tell? Late night owl, unfortunately, me too. Trying so hard not to be so hard to sleep or change your sleep schedule. I'd prefer to die than be paid 25 GP. Forgotten about for leading us to his camp. I mean, maybe there's more reasons. My guess is though your TM didn't prepare that far. Just didn't want to deal with that. Builder for 10 years, like houses? Gotta get up that early for that? I have an uncle who's a builder. I cannot imagine him getting up early. Can't wake up earlier than 5. My body will just give out on me halfway through. Honestly, again, trying to fix it. But for the past like year at least, I don't go to sleep before 5. I go to sleep at like noon. Classes and all that jazz. Sounds like a lot of work. You buff Hornet? There's no way in heck I could do something like that. I would break everything in my body and everything around me. Being evil means you lose your sense of self-preservation. No. In fact, I would very much suggest the opposite. I mean, hey, there's like chaotic evil and all that jazz, but whatever. Whatever, man. Started playing the Minecraft building. I mean, one's certainly easier on the back, I imagine. I need to get back into Minecraft. My dad showed me Minecraft Legends last night, and I only played for like 2 minutes. Anyone play that? Any good? Also, is the D&D thing for Minecraft Legends? I can't remember it already. College starts up. I'm gonna make my schedule a little better or worse. Oh, college? Oh, it's gonna get messed up, Stranger. Actually, Stranger, are you in Dorrance or are you commuting? Very different. My back, so I had to quit forever, so yeah, no. My back's pretty jank too. I don't think I'd be able to. I hurt my back so bad just picking up my kitten that I was literally on the floor for 3 days. So, how did that feel? Haven't played it. Oh, cramping it. Oh, really? I missed that somehow. Do you think for Minecraft Legends? Oh, so it is for Minecraft Legends? I don't think the D&D thing is out yet, is it? Because I thought it wouldn't be too good. It certainly seems very different, and like maybe I just wasn't in the mood yesterday, but like if it gets good, I wouldn't be against or anything. At least to try. Birthday. We go. You missed Cran's birthday? Oh god, I told him to remind me so we could do so. Oh, I'm messing the group chat right now. I'll do that later, actually. What D&D thing? Uh, Wizards and Minecraft mentioned a D&D like expansion for Minecraft, which I suppose was for Legends. I don't know, level you shush. Mark at the end of that sentence to you. What was the question? What was the question? I missed it. For Minecraft Legends? Yeah. That's why I was like, oh, I guess it is for Legends. D&D Minecraft book? I don't know about a book. It looks super cool. Yeah, it did. I was really hoping it would be for normal Minecraft, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Birthday the day before, and oh god, I'm such a bad friend. Ah, I didn't want to. Hypo didn't even tell me. That's Hypo's job. Keep me in the loop. Could see it being for normal Minecraft. That'd be lovely. Someone also said it might just be for Bedrock though, which would be unfortunate. Hornet, do you play? You play Java, right? The book, it definitely looked video game-esque. I'm too busy. I figured you already knew because you had that Hypo and Neo birthday. We talked about it, and then like nothing happened. I mentioned what people wanted to do and stuff, and we vaguely talked, and then there's just nothing. And book folks flying in. Nice. Legends are normal though. I'll Google that as well. Or Bedrock. Maybe it'll come to Java. That would be nice. Less. A bit more water. And Minecraft has DLC, but Java or Bedrock? Some of us only have one of those. Oh yeah, he did say that he was going out on his actual birthday, so I suggested we do it afterwards, and I guess, like, none of us really realized when afterwards was gonna be. Oh god, Tweety, what? Was? They're adding the Creeper Enderman and all of that to D&D. Wait, like, legitimately? That, I mean, I guess it would make sense for it to go both ways, but I will also look into that later. It's gonna be weird. Mod for Cran too. Rock, you take on too many mob positions. How do you have time to do like anything? How often does Cran stream? I should know this. Where has my little Cran? Oh, Bill's being a jerk. Hey, I'll look later. Rock is a popular little pebble. Last year, sometime they made it so that if you own one version, you can download the other for free. You can also play Bedrock and vice versa. Ugh. That feels like something I would mess up for sure. Let go of a few others because I don't. If you want to mod for other people, absolutely don't put me ahead of them. It's a sweet thought, but no. Burnett, what mods are you doing nowadays? You're still doing the... I'm bad with names, with the thing where you go into the dungeons and collect stuff? Wait, what's up? Comfortable being a mod in that other stream chat? Oh yeah? Is it treating you well? Gamer. I don't know what that means, but it sounds sweet, so thank you. Have we been streaming for 2 hours already? Mess with the mod screen? Honestly speaking, I don't know anything about that. I will also play all the mods. 8? All the mods 8. I assume it's just like a bunch of mods jammed together? It's been great. We'll have to look into it. Talking to Alexa. Hey, Alexa, bring me a water bottle, please. Are they just gonna hear me from here? Damn bots and shout out their friends who show up. You have to ban oh, like their IRL friend? Oh, that's awful. I strictly follow like the couple of IRL friends who know that I have a crowbar and I know where they live. So I think they've learned better. My Alexa, just wait. I forgot. Do not use headphones. Private streamer group. Oh, so you're like shouting them out, not banning them. Got it, got it. It's just how to say hello soon. Hello soon. I will soon. So, all the mods. Just a bunch of mods jammed together. Sounds cute. I need to look into these things. We still need to do something together. You still need to show me all these magical worlds of Minecraft that I'm not aware of. I'm still woefully in vanilla. Minus the one server that we had, but it wasn't like wildly modded or anything. It just had things like raccoons. Thought about that the other day. Oh, I was thought about. Just prolonging the chat. Listen, sometimes I just want to talk to you guys. Fool me. I just went through like 4 or 5 hours of surgery. I deserve a little chill time. Modding it was fun. I wish I knew how to mod stuff. I really do. I am so inept at everything. Got my dad last night to code something for me for stream, and I'm excited about it. I'm definitely gonna mess it up, but it's gonna be fun. And who knows how to mod stuff? I feel like Pink might know how to mod stuff. He certainly knows how to mess around with mods, but I don't know how far that goes. Raccoons and big swords, yeah. Think about you all the time, so oh, Hornet, my heart. I think about you too, but I'm just too shy to say anything about it. Whenever you have a time, I'm always down. Always hit me up and all that jazz. Nothing isn't too hard. Still have to get the Pokemon. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a Pokemon Mad Pack. Are we sure that that's like allowed? Knowing Nintendo, especially right now, isn't Nintendo going a little crazy? I made a new server with it. Well, maybe. A lot of people playing the Pokemon mode recently. Really? Huh. I always get weirded out about Nintendo mods. Like, especially right now. Gosh. Nintendo's such a punk. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm really looking forward to the next Zelda. But part of me is like, Nintendo. How dare you? Be a junk company that makes games I love. Are you see people who made Pixelmon? Pokemon, is that different than the one that people are currently playing? Shout out the good people they collab with. Yeah, I need to be better about that. I've got a specific thing that's like, this is the friend I'm playing with today, but I always forget to update, which is my bad. The different team. Look at see, yep. I mean, to be fair, probably the last person I played with was Hypo, probably. Just guessing. Different team took up the mantle of it. Well, that is gutsy of them. I haven't watched the last one. And Hypo? What did we do last time? Oh, yeah, we played Stardew. Yeah. A hot minute ago. I'll get better at it. I'll just have like a sticky note on my monitor being like, you have friends. Shout them out. Unk. Slash parasocial. uh, my clips don't even work that way anymore. So, I'm not physically capable. Good luck to anyone. Hippo and Cran. Yeah, we keep trying to get Nia, but Nia's always off doing Nia things. You know, good for her. We love her and want her to succeed and do her things. Bernard, have you perchance ran into either Hypo or Cran? They're both also very sweet. Would probably get along if you watch like any of my TikToks. I've been in a lot of them recently, so and Larry sent out like 18 months ago. It was a hot time ago, yeah. You guys, yeah, I know. I meant to do more of those, but I guess that was another thing that I got shy about. So I mean, to be fair, with merch, I essentially do the same thing anyway now. So how many more days until our hoodies are sold out? Oh, three. Wait, today, and then 3 more days. Oh god, the month has gone by so fast. Ugh. I love making these things limited time, but at the same time, like I even miss them a little. I'm glad to have the one hoodie still be like a permanent thing. I think was the only one. What do you mean? The question about your model. This one? A third of the year has passed. Full fast. Even when I think about it. I mean, I guess for me, it really hasn't felt like it because this year has been so jam-packed recently. There's just been so many like health issues and family issues and ugh. It's just a lot to deal with. This hair of 2 different colors. The strands or different sections have different colors. OG model gave the impression that they had 2 colors on the same strand. Oh, sorry, no. The way that this works is, I guess, technically speaking, I could do different colors on different strands. Welcome in, Hornet. Welcome. Oh wait, on your anniversary. Oh my god, it's been a year. Oh my god, time does fly. Never mind what I was just saying. Wow, it does not feel like it. What was I saying? Oh, the hair. You could, but it never was really meant to be that way because that's not how my hair works. Like the hair is just modeled off of my hair where I have the front of it or like the outside layer blonde and the inside layer is dyed black. So like when I do things like put them up in buns, like the hair gets mingled and the braids and stuff, but when it's just like out like this, it's just blonde on the outside and black on the inside. Cause that's all. I know. God, time flies. Here for a while. Your work your streams. Dude, yeah, no. It does kind of blow my mind. Because, like, I have such a strong idea of when I first meet people, and to hear that some of them have been around longer than that, just like, oh, I'm so lucky to have you guys around. You have some hair dye black arrow? Yeah. I have a yeah. I change my hair periodically, but this is what I always come back to. It's what my hair is currently. I've had it like this for the past couple years. I had it like this for like a good chunk of high school and college. In between that, I dyed it red and pink and black, but this is what I always go back to. It's kind of just what I consider my hair. Almost 2 years. Or for 3 weeks and 3 days. Well, I wonder why that is when you keep messing with your account. I also just re-dyed the black because it had kind of grown out since then. Like, most of it was blonde and the tips were brown, so I had my roommate help me and we got it back to where it's supposed to be. You want black hair? Haven't seen. Yeah, I did like all black hair. I think freshman year of college, and like no one liked it. I liked it. It was mostly dudes that didn't like it. A lot of the chicks were pretty okay with it, but so for like a long time, I just had an ombre from blonde to black at the tips. I was growing it out. Ugh. Yeah, 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 days, 27 seconds. I'll be exact. He is emo, but a crazy. I wouldn't say I'm emo. If anything, I'm punk or goth. If we're being exact. I don't think I got the whole emo thing down. Probably. Anyway, I always get confused about them. From what I remember being told, emo is more like a lifestyle. Emo is more a mentality, where goth kind of does more of the aesthetic stuff. Ask you someday which part, which of theirs. But a cozy little emo. You're Wicca that I am. Punk slash goth with a love for emo things. I don't think I have a love for emo things. Like, maybe some bands, but even a lot of the bands I listen to that people consider emo aren't technically emo. So, I don't know. Who knows? I like spikes in the color black, whatever that means. Goth grandma, yeah. Head out. We're okay, and you recover well. Thank you, Bubs. Always a pleasure to see you. Go having fun, undoubtedly, with the wife. Who I will always tease you about. I hope you know that. You're the greatest in this way. Oh, stranger. And you're over here again being a sweetheart. I have one other person I know who is a Wicca. Yeah, I only know a few Wiccas. I was in like the pagan club briefly in college. I was in a lot of different religious clubs in college. Just because I had the kind of family that didn't tell me about religion like at all. They want me to grow up and choose for myself, so I just kind of took a bunch of classes and tried to experience a bunch of different religions, and this is where I am. Should get some water. Right, does this mom have a nickname? Okay, so her like current name has just been um Sweetie Bard. I also kind of wanted to proposition Rockin' Robin because that was like no one's gonna care. But that was the lullaby that I used to get sung to when I was a kid. I thought it was kind of cute, but I think Sweetie Bard probably fits it better, so I don't know. Rockin' Robin. It's an old song. Is all. Well, she's fragile waifu, and then there's Goth Grandma. I know she needs a name. The sticker that I made for her was just called Sweetie Bard because I needed a name, but Stranger knows the song. that's that's peculiar. Not a lot of people know that song anymore. You're kind of Christian, kind of drifting away from that. Yeah, I tried Christian. There's so many different variations of Christian, and I think I need to do more research into it. Like the church that I used to go to was kind of one of the more hateful ones though, so that kind of really turned me off from it. So I don't know. There's obviously more to learn about, but I'm pretty happy with where I am currently. And again, I thought I was pretty okay with Buddhism too, so you never know. You two know this song. Pretty old. Actually, I don't even know how old it is. Old enough that it was sung to me as a baby, so something my mother knew. But Rockin' Robin, if you want it, I don't know what I want to name her. Like Sweetie Bug kind of makes sense because of like the whole art theme, but I don't know. Maybe I could say Rockin' Robin for something. Like the thing with Goth Grandma as Fragile Waifu is that they both came like just naturally. So for me to come up with a name for this one just feels kind of weird, right? I hereby dub this model Rockin' Robin. There's something at our house that plays this song. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. We've me and my sister went to a record shop yesterday. We both got a couple of records. Very excited about them. She was very excited about it. She just got her record player, so fangirling about it. I mean, it is a bird name, which is like the main reason that I brought it up. It felt vaguely appropriate because Tweety was also a name given to me by my mom as a baby. So it just, I don't know. Sweet Robin? Okay. I know someone named Robin, and that's a little too close to feeling weird for me. Water, get some water. Fine, I'll get some water. Uno momento, the model's gonna go into the void and be creepy for a second. BRB. I'm back. Yeah, okay. You forget how dizzy you are until you stand back up. You're not your friend. I don't know. I always feel weird. Like, I know so few people. So, when a name happens to be someone I know, my brain cannot differentiate between those things. Like, I know very few people who share the same name. So, certain names will just always be that person to me. I've got a whole new bottle of water. An existential crisis medal. Is it staring at the chat verb? What? He's supposed to stare forward when I leave, but whatever. I'm blinking. Yeah, no. I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but I used to have it set up so that it blinks when I blink. And like, part of that's cute, but mainly I hated it because it was so wonk. Like, my eyes would never blink at the same time. It would always, like, stay half squinted. Like, it just always really bothered me with how bad it looks. So I'm like, you know what? Auto blink. Solve that. That wasn't long or far. Yeah, you're not the one who just tripped over like 3 things to get there. You need to get some like I said, I shouldn't be resting this early. I should do some work and whatnot. Do I share a name with anyone you know? I don't think so. Like maybe a kid in like elementary school, but other than that, I can't think of anyone. As in the first name, yeah, no, the first name. Gave us a side eye. It was peeved on my behalf for having to go across the room. Barb was adorable. I hated it. I really did. You go do some work after. It won't be physical work. I'll just be like at the laptop getting some stuff done. Like I said, I'm currently on drugs, and until they wear out, I should be okay. A little loopy, probably won't be working very quickly, but I shouldn't be going to sleep. He's taking breaks, to rest. Don't even listen. That's what happens when you're broke. You have to work a lot. This is the way of the world. I'm also the kind of person that, like, if I'm not working, my brain goes, this ain't what you're supposed to be doing. What are you doing? You could be going doing something productive. So even when I'm not working, it's just more anxiety, you know? Has the puppy helped with your sleep? It has. It has been very comfortable. I also reclaimed one of my old blankets, which has also been helping. New puppy? No, 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 not a live puppy. It's a plushie. Oh God, a puppy trying to sleep in my bed. Like I said, I was at my dad's house yesterday, and the corgi tried desperately to sleep with me. It was very cute. Yeah, it was a weighted stuffed animal. It was very nice. Think about all the work I have to do. A lot of it's work I want to do though, so it shouldn't be that bad. Probably. I'm good. I'm starting to go because it's over 2 hours. Like I said, I expected here to be like 20 minutes. Not sure what got automated. I didn't even see anything get automated. Did the rock take care of it already? Hmm. Sometimes I feel like a weighted stuff. I like I don't know how to explain this without sounding weird, but like I need pressure put on my ears so that not that I can't hear, but so that everything sounds muffled, kind of like you're underwater or something. Because if I can hear just like too much air or whatever, it's like brain is in awake mode, you know? So to not have anything that I could use for that was really bothering me. Dang. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure I even put that one in. I did a lot of just the auto mods, like the list was auto mod, family friendly. I think like we're PG-13 at this point. At one point I might have been PG, but I feel like we've probably rocked the boat a little too much at this point. Especially since I play with people like the boys who are absolutely not PG. Also delete if it's not wanted. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. I don't have much issue with other people swearing, even in chat, unless it's like super bad or whatever. I just personally don't like swearing is all. So maybe I should go through my auto blocks, auto mods, whatever. Where since I first came, oh yeah, and it was like one of the first things I set up. I haven't really messed with it since. Family friendly. It's just me on other streams and much friends. Duly noted. Yeah, like I don't mind. I think the only time I've ever asked someone on my stream to chill a little bit was I was playing D&D with a few people, and Cran just swore like 5, 10 times in one sentence, and I'm like, I don't mind, but maybe just like a little bit less. But for the most part, I'm fine with people doing whatever. Sleepy Cran is unhinged. The problem is Cran is always sleepy because he lives like, I don't know, 12 hours ahead of us or something. He's always playing with us in the middle of the night. It always feels so bad. Just a goofy little guy who only wears. Does he only wear Crocs? I need to make fun of him for that for sure. Then. Always sleepy? Yeah, always sleepy. Working on it. Medication certainly helping with that, so like I normally tune over. Oh yeah, no, I know. I've seen some of his streams. Sleep last night 4 hours. I don't think I got that much sleep either, too. I always have such a hard time sleeping when I visit my father. Only partially because the dogs go crazy all night. If anyone has ever had a German Shepherd, you know. Love them to death. But whoo boy, I am a light sleeper. Hello, Robotic Shadow. How goes it? On the next day. Yeah. I'm trying to get better, but for a long time I was in one of those situations where I'd sleep for like an hour or two twice a day. Not good for you. You shouldn't do that. And the talk. He was scared of shoes. The Crocs. Was it Crocs? I don't think he was talking about Crocs. At least in that clip. I don't necessarily remember the rest of that. I had a pair of Crocs once when I was a child. Because I used to swim on a team. And my stepmother was like, well, you need to wear Crocs if you're going to the pool. And I'm like, I would rather wear normal feet and step on glass. Thank you very much. I don't know why I was such against Crocs at the time. I think even back then they just had like the worst reputation. I don't even typically care about that, but just get 'em, man. You put in another streamer's username into your title and links to their channel into the title. So keep this in mind. Something about Crocs. I remember that. Okay. My phone on silent? I think my phone's on silent. Check it. Not have been too far. Maybe he prefers Crocs instead of those shoes, I see. I guess, is that a thing with him? I don't understand. He would, though. He's definitely a Crocs with socks kind of guy. Start doing it, duly noted. Shout the people. That'd be nice. That would be real nice. I'll try and keep that in mind. What, want to know why I refuse to tell them your new username, though? Okay. Light fear. And hey, Jimoy. Now I have so much Powerade. We've got the blue ones again. Good stuff.